Good morning, Flosstube. It's Saturday, February 3rd, and I can't believe that we're already into February. January went by really quickly for me. Usually, I think of January as being a relatively slow month, and it has gone by remarkably fast. So here we are, it's February. By the way, do you say February or February? I think I started out saying February as a kid, and I think I've somehow transitioned to February with more of a brew to it. So I don't know. I assume this is like a regional thing, and I don't know why I'm shifting, but if you have a preference for the way that you say it, let me know in the comments how you say it and where you grew up. So first, I'd like to thank you for, again, all the kind comments. Everyone has been so welcoming in the community of Flosstube, and I just really appreciate all of you, all the people who've been watching. I know people are busy, so taking even the time to watch is just, it means a lot, and people leaving really kind comments and have been so encouraging. Just thank you so much, and thank you. I received a shout out from Saho. Thank you so much, Saho. I enjoy your videos too. Saho is a new Flosstube member as well, and she lives in Japan. Her channel is called Saho Dream Stitch, and I really enjoyed seeing the projects that she's been working on, especially this beaded pin cushion. It's all beaded on the front, and it's got a floral design on it. I think part of the reason I like it is because it has beads, and I don't think it's something that I would ever have the stamina to make, but I'm enjoying watching her work on it. And she just did another kind of mini video today about the Setsubun Festival. I think that's what it's called. It's a bean throwing festival in Japan. So I started watching that this morning, and that's really neat. So I enjoy her cultural information that she includes. Also, I was watching Helen D, eastcoast.crafter, and she kind of shouted me out with reference to a chalkboard. So she had just purchased a chalkboard at Kohl's that she had seen me post in December. And so she mentioned that she had seen me using it for my Prairie Schooler finish I had done. So I thought, well, okay, since she mentioned it, I'll see if I can dig it out if it's, not at the bottom of the Christmas stuff pile, because I packed it away before I started Flosstube. And I did indeed, thankfully, have it at the top. So I thought I would show you what she'd mentioned. And so from basically the end of October until about mid-December, I was stitching the Prairie Schooler Christmas Eve. This was recently reprinted, so you can get this easily. This was the original, and I have to say that the printing on the chart wasn't great. In some areas the gridding was a little bit blurry, but it's fine. Okay, so that's the chart, and here's what I made. So yes, this chalkboard came from Kohl's, and this is what was displayed with it. Let's see. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, I thought that would happen. You get the idea. I might move this. Okay. This is stitched on 32 count Belfast. It's Weigart Natural. Really enjoyed working with this fabric. It's kind of a nice, stiffer fabric, and I usually stitch in hand. I didn't change anything in the chart except I changed the color of the trumpet because it blended in too much for my taste with Santa's bag. Then I finished it up, put a pom-pom trim around it because I'm a big fan of pom-pom trim these days, and mounted it on boards. And then this chalkboard is from Kohl's, and I put some sheet metal on it. I know that Priscilla mentioned recently that they've switched to using washers, which I think is a good idea because the sheet metal was not fun to cut up, so I will be switching to washers as well. Anyway, so it's just magnetized on here, and then I made this little pick with the bell, the jingle bell, which I had gotten from Michael's, and some of the berries and stuff. It just kind of tied it all together. So you can still get this chalkboard at Kohl's, and it's like $50, but you can obviously get it at a discount. So I probably paid $16 or $17 with a couple of discounts that they had going at the time. So this would be good if you're doing Christmas Eve or just some other project that's kind of similar size. And obviously I intend to change this out when I have other things that I want to put on it. Okay, so thanks for mentioning me, Helen, and I hope you enjoy your chalkboard as well. Helen also picked up a spinning chalkboard at Michael's that was really awesome, and I would kind of like to have one of those as well. I'm not sure if I have any charts that will fit it. It's kind of long and skinny, so I'll have to see if I have anything. I'm not sure if I do. If not, maybe I'll wait, but it's really cool. And they also have a red chalkboard as well. So you can get like a white skinny chalkboard or red chalkboard. Check out Helen's video. I'll put a link in the notes so that you can check out her video and see what she picked up. She had like 3 different things that were really cool for her cross stitch finishes. Okay, next thank you. This is a huge thank you, and I can't really express enough how grateful I am. So Elizabeth Andrus, she's VintageStitches. I used to read her blog for a number of years and just really enjoyed her, and so I was so happy to eventually find her on Instagram and then to realize that she's been doing some Flosstube videos, so I started following her. And I think it was last weekend she released a new video, and she decided to do a giveaway, and she was giving away 3 things. She was giving away a Just Cross Stitch DVD, a box of Prairie Schooler ornaments, and then a box of kind of, she called it a bonus box of kind of random ornaments. And so you could enter the giveaway, and I actually won the bonus box. And I'd have been like thrilled to just get like 1 ornament, but a box of ornaments, I mean, wow. So I'll show you what I received. I just feel so lucky. Like, I actually cried a little bit when I found out that I had won, because I was just like so touched that that she would share that with people. And it's just, you know, she makes beautiful things, and I really appreciate it and feel very grateful. So without further ado, let's see what beautiful work Elizabeth does. Really, really nice details. So this was cool because it inspires me for ways to finish my ornaments. I think this one is perhaps my favorite ornament. And these, I believe, were all from the Just Cross Stitch DVD, which she was giving away. Except maybe these alphabets, I'm not sure. Isn't that cute? It's so fun. So there's a few of the ones with the letters and the charms. And I also like that they have jingle bells on them. It makes them seem extra Christmassy. Even the backs, like she totally, like how she fussy cut them. It's so awesome. She has very good attention to detail. And there's another letter one. Oops. There we go. Beautiful work. Beautiful work, Elizabeth. Thank you so much if you see this video. I sent her an email too, in case she, you know, doesn't watch the video. Okay, this one's not a letter. Okay. And the sock monkey, isn't that awesome? And then, of course, sock monkey on the back, really, really awesome. I love it. And this is also a big favorite of mine. The kitty holding the candy cane with its tail, and the prairie points around, and the gingham. Wow, I mean, just give me something to aspire to, Elizabeth. Yeah, I mean, just amazing. So I'm honored to have these, and I will always treasure them. Okay, so there's 2 more. I like this one with the little sheep. And this one's just got more of the same fabric on the back. And lastly, isn't that nice? And the lace down here across the bottom, and then she's got a little pom-pom trim. It's just, wow. So, I came home from work yesterday, and I've had a fine week, but you know, it's been kind of a long week, and I'm actually getting sick, so I'm not feeling great today, but I came home, and the box was at my door, and boy, it just made my day. Made my year. Okay, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you a million times over. Okay, what's next? Finishes. I finished one thing since you last saw me, just one. And it's the wee ski sweater. Again, this is from the wee winter woolens knit along that started in June and went into November. And it's by Kathy Lewinsky of Just Crafty Enough. The patterns are free on her site, and they're, you know, recommended in fingering or sock weight yarn. I was knitting them on a size 1 double pointed needles, but you know, you could use whatever you wanted. So next I'll be doing the red version of this. I might do red, white, and green. I'm not sure. I'll probably start that next weekend if I get together with some friends. We're gonna go out to a brewery and knit and hang out and eat. So I'll probably be doing that then. Okay, so one finish only, alas. Whips. I mentioned last time that I'm working on Fill Your Heart by All Through the Night, Bonnie Sullivan. This is going to be a class that I teach in the summer. I did not make much progress on this, to be honest. Last time all I had was the pieces fused in place, and so my progress was to stitch down the purple flowers and then to start embellishing the one purple flower, and that took me quite a long time to get it to look nice. Yeah. It's more time consuming than I was expecting it to be, but that's fine. I have time. So I'm just going to work on it slowly, and it just takes as long as it takes, and I'll try not to be impatient. Which, yeah, patience is not one of my strong suits. Okay, Halo. Yeah, still working on Halo. Today is the second day of the quilt off, so Kelly Stadola did a little challenge that she issued, and you can find that on her YouTube channel. I'll link to it. But starting Friday and going through Sunday, you're just trying to move a project along. You can get more details on her site. Start something you've always wanted to start, finish something you want to finish, whatever. And so I'm obviously trying to get Halo done. So I'm going to insert a video of the before and then a video of the after. So right now I'm in the middle of it. I sewed 3 blocks yesterday, and I'm in the process of sewing 3 more today, and we'll see if I have any energy left to do more. But 3 at least today. So basically what you're seeing behind me, I'll insert a video to show you before and after progress, but I'm filming this before the end. So what you're seeing now is not the final product, it's like the middle. This has been a great quilt. So this quilt is from the book Jenny from One Block by Jen Kingwell. So the book is all 1 block quilts, and I really like circle quilts, and this one is really just, I like how scrappy it is. I've been enjoying choosing the fabrics for it. Every block is fun to make, and I've gotten better at figuring out how to deal with such a steep curve. I've done Drunkard's Path before, which has curves, and that wasn't as hard as this is to sew and have it come out nice, but I'm finally, after 36 blocks or so, getting the hang of doing that better. So it's coming along really well. Right there is what's going to be row 1, the top of the quilt, like the head of the bed. And then this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are hanging up on my sewing chair. And then I will have 3 more rows to sew to make the center of the quilt, and then there's a border. So, you know, sometime this year, I'll get the top done. Sooner than later, I think. Okay, so insert here. Okay, the pre and post quilt off. So I'm taking part in Kelly's quilt off this weekend, and I wanted to give a before shot and an after shot. So this is Halo, and I actually have 2 other rows done on this quilt, and I took them off the wall because I can't reach the top of the quilt to place the blocks. So what you see here are part of row 2, and then I'm going to try to complete that this weekend, as well as the top row, which would be the row that's kind of at the head of the bed. So I'm going to try and fill in rows 1 and 2, and then you can see I've got 3 and 4 already there on the wall, and then 5 and 6 are off the wall but sewn together. So I'll give you a little bit of a close-up. It's really fun to choose the fabrics for this quilt. I've been enjoying it a lot. It's like every single block is almost its own little mini quilt, and it's probably one of the scrappiest quilts that I've made to date. So that's where I'm at right now, and I'll be back with some progress later. So I think I'm calling this my stopping point for the quilt off. I made 6 blocks total, and definitely coming down with some things, so I'm kind of wearing out here. So if I get any more done this weekend, it'll be a surprise bonus for me. Okay, so now on to new starts. I had two new starts since last time. So the first new start is another Cricut collection piece, because I'm all about the Cricut collection. This is Spring. So I have a mystery linen. It might be the call for color, I just don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's 32 count, whereas the linen in here is 30 count. It's a very soft linen, and that presented some problems for me. I was reluctant to use it, but I had it. I bought it for this project. So I was kind of frustrated with it, and people on Instagram suggested that I use a frame, a hoop. And so I got out my Q-snap, and that did. I haven't used a Q-snap in quite a while. I got used to not using one when I was doing some small ornaments, and then I just never went back. So it was a bit of an adjustment going back to using it, and it's fine. I've gotten used to it. And I've been trying to decide whether at some point I want to maybe keep using the Q-snap and get like a lap frame so that I don't have to hold my piece and I could probably stitch more quickly. If you have a lap frame and you stitch with a Q-snap, I would be interested in hearing what you think of it, or if you've tried and rejected that, let me know about it in the comments. I'd be just interested to know what your experience has been. My preference would be to either stitch in hand or to have a Q-snap in some kind of frame rather than having to hold the Q-snap. I think that's a little bit hard on my hands to do, like gripping something that's like, kind of thicker. So anyway, let me know. Here is the piece. So I started with the center. I usually start from the edge and work in, but I just could not quite get my mind around doing that this time. So I started in the center with the letter I, and then worked over to the letter R. And I had this little moment of panic when I realized that the bottom of the letters did not match up. And I like freaked out on Instagram about it. People were like, oh, just lengthen the I. And I was like, oh, right. I had a bad day the day that I started this piece, I was really, I'm usually pretty on the ball and just with it, but I was really just not with it. I don't know why. I was having such a bad day, but I went to class to teach my students, and I would misplace things I'd had 1 minute before in a classroom where there's not that many places stuff can be. I couldn't talk. in English, let alone Spanish. So it was just a bad, bad day. And then I also stitched, like I came home and I'm like, I can't talk to anyone. I can't do anything more. But I stitched, and then of course I messed up the eye, surprisingly. So then I was panicking when I realized that I messed it up. But it was an easy fix. I just, as I said, kind of tweaked this a little bit, added a couple rows down here, and all is well. Yeah. And, you know, Vicky Hastings, she does the cutest stuff. Man, she's all about the stripes in this thing. There's like stripes here, stripes in the umbrella, got a little checkerboard in the clouds. That's fine. I like it. It's cute. She's like on a little stripe kick in this design. I don't know if the other seasons are like that or not. My other new start was another set of towels. So I'm weaving a set of 4 towels. Not that they have to match. They're just going to be different colors. And so this is from, I last weekend planned this project and got it all set up. And when you're not sick, so the last time I started weaving a project, I was sick, and it took forever to get the loom warped, and it was the holidays, so this time I was not sick, and it just went really fast and was awesome. So this is what I'm going to be weaving. Okay, so this is called Striped Hand Towels with Rose Path Patterns. This is from the book Simple Weaves. These are really great projects in here. And this has been on my wish list. The book was on my wish list for a long time. They were reprinting it, and it was really expensive to get, so I was waiting for the reprint. I was really excited when it came out, and then that was like at the top of my list of things I wanted to make, but I hadn't gotten around to it, and so I finally prioritized, okay, we're doing this now. So that weaving is going well, and I'm going to stop and insert a little video to show you, now that I'm getting more savvy with my video editing, like somewhat more savvy, I'm figuring out how to do this. So I'm going to stop the video and insert a video of the weaving so that you can see what it looks like on the loom, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I wanted to show you one of my new starts. This is a towel that I'm weaving, and I've measured out enough yarn that I should be able to get 4 towels out of this warp. These are called something along the lines of Rose Path border towels, and what I've got here is a mix of plain weave. Plain weave is a weave structure that the yarn is just going over and under as you go across the loom. And then this part here is twill. Twill is like a diagonal. So if you look at your denim jeans, the fabric is kind of on a diagonal. You can see that, and so that's what a twill weave structure is. And this is Rose Path. That's just the threading. So this towel is the first towel on the warp, and I decided to do red and white for the first one. I am about 2/3 of the way finished with this, so I've got 20 inches. I'm weaving them actually to about 32 inches. And let's see if I can show you what it looks like underneath. So this is going over the breast beam, and it's coming down onto the cloth beam right there. And then these are the lambs, and the lambs are tied up to the shafts of the loom or the harnesses, and when I push down on the treadles here, I get a pattern. So I'm just pushing down, and you can see. So depending on how I thread the loom and how I tie up the treadles, the patterns change. Okay, so this loom is called a Louet David. Louet looms are made in the Netherlands. This loom has a lot of really great features that I like, and it's very quiet, except mine does have a bit of a squeak. I've been trying to work on finding the right spot to oil, but in general, it is a very quiet loom, very easy to treadle, and it has a lot of great features and things that make it really easy. It's really well designed. Okay, hope you liked learning about the loom. And now I thought I'd share a little bit of haul that I got. So This I actually ordered a little while ago. It came pretty quickly. I just hadn't shared it. This is from the Prairie Schooler. It's farm fresh. I believe this one's out of print, but you can still find it some places. I got this on Etsy from Kingsland Traditions. I've ordered a couple things from them, and they come really quickly, and they package it really like intelligently. My mail carrier, even if you put "do not bend," will bend anything that fits in the mailbox. So she packages it so that it can't be bent and stuck in the mailbox, and then they bring it to the door. Yeah. And then I just couldn't resist any longer. I was, you know, after seeing Elizabeth's video about her ornaments, and then I was commenting on another video, and I was like, man, I really need to get this DVD of the Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornaments. And Lynette from Homesteading on the Homefront I was saying, you know, I should wait until my birthday, which is in April. And she's like, don't wait until your birthday. You need it now. And I did listen to her. It was on sale on Amazon, and I had some rewards, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess she's right. So thanks, Lynette, for enabling me. So segue into some shout outs. I have just started watching a lot more Flosstube, and I'm trying to keep up with all that's going on, and I'm new to it, and so there's just like so much Flosstube out there to watch. I'm just kind of at the tip of the iceberg here, but I have been really enjoying Lynette and the eldest and little one on Homesteading on the Homefront. So I'm shouting you out. Great videos. You guys are like a super cute family. I wish that when I was the age of those girls that I'd had the patience to do any consistent cross stitching. I think it's awesome, and I just really enjoy seeing their family interaction and what they're all working on, and their experience of life on Guam. So really enjoy your videos. Elizabeth of VintageStitches, I would shout you out even if you didn't send me a box of ornaments, but check her out. She is a great storyteller, a sweet person. She makes beautiful stitch pieces, and so she loves vintage projects, and she just did a video, like a little mini video, where she showed her stitching area and her cross stitch cabinet where she keeps her projects, and that was super cool to see. And she's really organized and tidy, and just kind of, it's neat to see how everybody works differently, you know, seeing some of the videos of different people's craft rooms. It's just been kind of cool. So Elizabeth VintageStitches, okay, I will link to her as well. Stitching Social, gosh, they're a fun pair of sisters, and it's just cool to see family have such a nice interaction, and how much they support each other and love each other, and they make great projects, and they have like a great rapport. Just really enjoy watching those two. So that's Allison and Jennifer, Stitching Social. So check them out. They've got 4 videos now. I think they're in Ontario. And lastly, but not leastly, Jan Hicks Creates. Jan is also a new Flosstube member. She cross stitches and she knits, and she does a lot of work with Laura Nelkin's patterns. Laura does a lot of beaded stuff. Not that that's what she only does, but she does a lot with beading. So Jan's got some really cool cross stitching that she's doing and knitting, and so, you know, if you enjoy both of those things, I think you would enjoy her. She's got an amusing sense of humor. It's kind of subtle, just kind of pops out every so often, I think, and so it's kind of amusing when I've interacted with her on Instagram. So hi, Jan. Okay, I think that's everything today. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it that you take the time, and hopefully I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks.